Hello, everybody.
Dramatic appearance.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, I guess that happens. It's like, right. Oh, give me a second. And you don't have a second. Hi, everyone. Welcome on this fine Saturday afternoon. We're here. We're chilling. Big chilling.
Going back when I missed.
Phil, long time no see. Am I right?
Yep.
Yo, everybody.
It's like I didn't even leave.
Didn't even leave. Hey, guys. How's it going? My name is Justin.
Mark.
Oh, thank God. He actually did it this time. And I'm Philip.
And you're watching and are listening to episode 484 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. Week of Game Awards, amongst a couple other things. How you guys been doing?
I was waiting for Mark, but
that one's kind of a general one.
Yeah, I've been doing all right. I've been chilling.
Been chilling.
Had the day off since yesterday, so I have the 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
So I've just been after I beat Spider-Man 2, I was just like, well, I don't have much. That was it. That's all I really wanted to beat this year. So I've just kind of been playing my Switch. Kind of dabbling in other games, playing some retro games and finishing some backlog stuff. So I think I'm almost done with Spider Sores. That game got really tough at the end. I had to take a break because that last boss is pissing me off. So I'm giving it a good week before I jump back on that one and try to beat the last level.
Cool.
Started up Demon Turf, which is a really cool 3D platformer. Very, very technical and made for speedruns. So I was like, that's cool. All
right.
It's fun. And then just been playing some NSO retro apps literally for the last 2 days. I think yesterday I played a little bit of 64. I ran through Star Fox 64 twice. Yep. I did the hard route where you have to go through Aquas and that submarine level that's really, really dark, and you have to use the torpedoes to light up everything. So that was cool. I did that route with the really, really hard Star Wolf fight at the end. I did that one to beat Andross's true form, and then I did the easy route just to experience the different levels. And so I only need one route left in that one. It's the middle route, so I can get to Solaris. But really, it's I can just kind of mix match at that point to get to the middle stuff.
I see.
Shouldn't take too long to do that one. And then Super Nintendo, I've been playing Star Fox OG because I've just been in a really weird Star Fox mood, and I really want to play those games again. So I've started up Star Fox Original, done through level 1, did level 2, the routes. Now I'm on level 3 route, almost done. I might start up Star Fox 2, the unreleased game. I might do it. We'll see.
Okay.
That one's a little bit different in the way you beat that game, so I'm not sure yet. But I've also been playing Mario's Super Picross, if nobody knows what that is. It's called Mario's Super Picross. It's Picross, first of all, is a series. It's a series of puzzle games. And I don't mean it falling block tower puzzle games. I mean Sudoku, crossword style puzzle games. Where you have a grid. The easiest one would be 10 by 10. And you have numbers. Whatever the column has that number in means that many spaces can be in that column somewhere, but you have to match it with the X axis and the Y axis. And so you're essentially just kind of making pictures out of these puzzles. It's very fun. It gets very tough and very brain challenging. Katrina didn't know that about this series until yesterday, and she asked me to rub her shoulders, and I was like, cool, but take the controller. And she was like, I don't know how to play. And I was teaching her how to play. And we were going at it for a good hour. Just trying to figure out puzzles.
A battle for the grid, if you will.
Yes. And there's a ton of I had to look it up. There's a ton of Picross games on Switch. There's the Mario one, obviously, on the SNES app. It's a Japanese import, by the way, but you don't need English at all. You literally push A and B, and that's about it. There's 7 different Picross Switch games on the eShop. There's one based on an anime, and I don't remember what it's called. There's a Sega Genesis / Master System themed Picross game. And then I just found this out. They just put a Picross game that has 7 packs of DLC, but that's because all of them are all of the Picross games from 3DS. So they ported all the 3DS Picross games to Switch, essentially, in one package. And I was like, I don't know if I like Picross that much, but like, it's cool. It's cool. That's what I've been doing though. That's all I've been. That's really. I don't know.
Gotcha. Mark, what have you been up to?
Just been hanging out, doing what I can here and there.
I see what you mean. Okay. It's
Eh,
it's been certainly a week. I'm happy that the Game Awards was this week because I was like, okay, well, in order for us to do this thing, I'll have to like request off. So I was pretty much off since like Wednesday, so I was just like super happy about that.
you've been on
But
vacation.
yeah, I've been on vacation, but like from work. I was definitely given 100% as far as content work. It's I mean,
Fun artwork.
it's well, actually maybe a little bit it's iffy here this time around.
Oh, no.
It's God, where do I even start? I mean, obviously I've been kind of busy just trying to like balance like the 3 different like platforms I just kind of focus on, like as far as social media like content like creation bits. And because the Game Awards are here, it's a matter of like getting like those reaction like recordings in there, and because we also have lined that up with our top 10 personal like games of the year, that's also being in the works right now. So it's just it's editing hell over here.
Oof.
Not because of how difficult it is to edit, it's just they're very lengthy.
Yeah, I think this is like the week of the long projects.
Yes. So it's been rough, and as per usual, it's definitely like taking me away from like the backlog. So hopefully I'll get around with that. But you know, hanging out with like at Phil's place, that was really cool. Being able to sit down and like talk about our top 10, that was also really cool. So I wouldn't trade that.
That was fun. I always enjoy that stream every year. I look forward to it.
Yeah, just kind of like talk about it. It's kind of and this can also be like a or jumping off point when it comes to the Game Awards themselves, but being able to kind of just sit down and really talk about like the games that like matter to us, or just or happenstance something that we play through was pretty important. So
My apologies if you hear dogs in the background.
oh, don't worry, it's me.
No, I got that dog in you.
Dog in 'em.
No, I think the mail just came, and my dogs are very stereotypical about it.
Oh, stereotypical
Mailman.
about it.
Mailman.
That's what they're known for. The mailman. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, I gotcha.
Mailman.
Basically, yeah.
So no, I mean, there's a couple things to talk about. Obviously, Game Awards is kind of the big like topic for the podcast, as well as just like things around it happenstance. We could talk about like GTA 6's announcement.
Oh my god, that happened this week, huh?
It did.
Holy crap! I forgot.
Yeah, it was weird because it actually happened at like the day before they announced or the date of their potential reveal for it. And that was supposed to be the 5th. On the 4th, unfortunately, there was a leak, and it turned out to be legit. And that video got taken down, and you know, Rockstar decided to push that forward and be like, "Okay, well, here's our trailer got leaked, so here you go."
I hate
honestly,
people. Honestly,
it worked out better for them.
It worked out as it worked out.
Hey, everything worked out in the end. So
I guess so. It's just
I hate people. Like,
don't get me wrong. I get the idea that it's like, yeah, the kid fucked up, obviously. But
I really wanted to be like surprised, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was waiting.
It was just like on the company's terms that they wanted to release it, and someone just like did that to them and kind of forced their hand a little bit. Granted, it was just the day prior; they already had it prepped, so it worked out like that. But it's just unfortunate that someone kind of dropped the ball. Oh, not someone dropped the ball. It's just like it just had to been like unveiled like on someone else's terms.
Yeah,
but I think all in all, it still worked out for them. It was still a very successful video on their part. And it definitely got the internet like talking about that one instead of like the leak.
that's you know what? That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because Grand Theft Auto 5 back in the day was like that was pretty good looking, and now you look at it now, you're like, it's kind of rough now. And you see this, you're like, oh yeah, no, that looked terrible. This looks great.
Oh yeah, no, that looked terrible. My favorite part is like, yeah, you're right. Like we were sitting here and I looked at that game and I was like, holy crap, Grand Theft Auto 5 looks dated now, like compared to this trailer. Like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not even that bad of a looking game. It's just like I don't understand. But then you really have to look at how long that game's been out, and it's like, yeah, 10 years since PS3 and 360. Yeah, that game will do it to you.
Mm-hmm. It was like of that generation.
Yep.
360, PS3, like, whoa.
Sorry, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but like, man, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Stop.
I mean, the game looks so real.
It really does.
It looks damn good.
Man, but that's a game that's coming out in 2025. So it's taking a while for that one to cook.
They recreated so many things IRL from its social media for the trailer.
People pointed it out. Funny. That was funny.
That was so funny.
My favorite was definitely the lady with just like the hammer, just like stands up at you.
She's just like,
like, whoa.
That had me rolling. I was like, oh no, not the hammer lady.
Yeah. So we definitely have to like kind of wait for that one. And honestly, they could take their sweet time on that one. It like,
yeah, if they need another year, they need another year. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I agree.
Mm-hmm. I think
I want to agree? No, but I agree.
I want to agree. Yeah. Oh man, if that really just dropped 2024, then it's like, oh no, that would potentially be like part of the top 10 of that year, and that'd go against like FF7 Rebirth, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. I got some stuff.
Yeah.
I got some stuff to actually talk about in regards to Rebirth. But we'll get there when we get there. I think that's the only other like release or announcement from any other like company outside of like Game Awards. Unfortunately, I don't even have like the full listing of the Game Awards as far as like all the announcements. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we could like look into that. I'll probably just look up like Game Awards Twitter account and we'll find something.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot to pull that up earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. I guess, is there any other thing that we should cover before Game Award talks?
Yeah, because Game Award is gonna take the longest this week, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's the NSO update that Nintendo decided to drop like during the Game Awards, and I'm like, no question, no rhyme, no reason. So that's why I didn't know until you left that night. Because I finally started checking Twitter and I was like, I'm sorry, X. But I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean they just dropped 3 N64 games? And I thought it was like at that night. No, they did it during the Game Awards. And I'm like, no one's gonna pay attention. No one.
That's true.
And as someone who's very well versed with the N64 library, all 3 of them are certified hood classics. Some of them may not age as well as others, but I think those are some banger N64 titles. We got 1080-degree snowboarding, which we were promised by the end of this year, and we got it.
Well, we did, huh?
It's there. Another one of those like Nintendo games that's really technical, and you gotta like, if you put in the time to learn it, you'll get rewarded. It's a very fun game, but you gotta really put in the time to learn that game. It's kind of like how Wave Race is. It's kind of like how Excite by 64 is.
Gotcha.
A lot of their racing games, other than Mario Kart, are really technical. It's really funny. But yeah, 1080-degree snowboarding, banger. We got Jet Force Gemini, which is an Xbox game. Now, it's now an Xbox game, but we got the original N64 version, developed by Rare back in the day. It's kind of a hidden gem on the N64 library. It's really good. The music's incredible. The controls are something you have to get used to. Like, I think just for demonstration purposes, jump is mapped to C up.
Huh.
So if you're playing on so to translate, if you're playing on Switch and you don't have one of those 64 controllers, right stick up is jump. So yeah. But if you get used to the control scheme, it's a pretty interesting third-person shooter. Like level-to-level third-person shooter. That's also one of the hardest games in the N64 library, 200%. Good luck.
Oy.
Yeah, good luck. I'm not gonna 100% it. I've done my time. I'm never gonna do it again. But I think I'm gonna play through it just to get reacclimated with it. If you really don't want to deal with the controls, play it on Rare Replay on Xbox. They modernized the controls with dual sticks and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that version is incredible. That's the best version of the game. But it is cool that Xbox is still playing ball with Nintendo. It really is. And to see more Rare games pop up, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Diddy Kong Racing and Donkey Kong 64, I'm looking at you. Come on.
Yeah,
And Banjo-Tooie.
they definitely got a lot to like pull out of that library.
And then the third game is interesting because it's actually a game that was announced for Japan, but not for us. Even though there is an American version. But hey, you know what? Nintendo dropped it anyways. We got Harvest Moon 64, which is considered the best Harvest Moon in the entire series. One of the best. It's like the Super Nintendo version is fine. It's good, like the first original game, but the sequel like improves upon it in every regard. So, and a lot of games like Stardew Valley and stuff take inspiration from this one game. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of a banger title. It's actually a game I do not own in my actual physical library. So I'm very excited to sit down and learn it. I went to the how to play area, Justin, and it took me 45 minutes to learn all the game's mechanics. And I was like, I don't got time to actually start this today. I just stopped right there for a minute, but I will get to it. I do want to put some time into it. But yeah, pretty good N64 update to cap off 2023, in my opinion. My only concern is now we're going into the dark. We have no like set releases for the rest of for next year at all.
We'll have to wait until they give you another announcement of things to like come as far as like all respective platforms on NSO.
Yeah, we still are looking forward to 2 more Game Boy Advance games though. Still looking forward to Golden Sun.
Yep.
Still looking forward to F-Zero Maximum Velocity, and I think that's it. I'd have to look it up again, but yeah, I think those 2 are the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the NSO update this week.
Alrighty, I guess we'll just kind of go forward. You know what? There's one little tiny thing I kind of wanted to mention because it's just because it's on this platform that we're streaming on Twitch. Announcements that Twitch operations over in Korea is gonna shut down. Actually,
I heard about that. Why is that?
I think it's some inflation thing. I think it's because it's a little too costly to manage it over there. Those are my words, so you might want to do quick research on that one. So unfortunately, effective like February 2024, Twitch is going to cease operations, and by extension, a lot of content creators who do stuff for Twitch are going to have to start looking elsewhere. That's rough.
That's super rough. That sucks.
So,
it's kind of unnecessary.
It does feel like it, doesn't it? But yeah. But I guess the best thing that those folks can really do right now is to seek content creation elsewhere on different platforms, just to like ease off of like that impact. But yeah, I just wanted to like highlight that since like we also are pursuing Twitch as well.
No, that's perfect.
But
I like the journalism.
The journalism. So I guess now we can go ahead and cover the Game Awards 2023.
I'm trying to think if there really was anything else this week that like was big, but I don't believe so. I mean, there might have been. Oh, you know what, Mark? I forgot. Didn't Halo get its firefight mode this week?
I was waiting for it. If it is this week, then I'll tell you right now, boys better hop on that real soon, because I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, I was like, that's a mode I've been Infinite. Halo Infinite got a firefight mode finally. After all these like
Firefight's so great.
Firefight is always so good, dude. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna turn out. Other than that, yeah. No, that's a Trying to think. No, that's about it.
All right. So Game Awards stuff, huh?
Oof. The big boy.
Yeah. I gotta
Oh,
say, wait.
I lied. There is one thing that happened the day before. We got the Day of the Devs presentation and the wholesome direct thing again.
Oh.
Now, I didn't pay attention to a lot of it. A lot of it's not for me personally. That's not my kind of games. However, I do want to bring up one that got announced. It's because I'm segueing this into Game Awards because it's called Day of the Devs Game Award Edition. So they did this with the Game Awards branding. We got the next game or the next interactive documentary in the Gold series by Digital Eclipse.
Oh.
And it's the next one. This is coming after the making of Karateka and Atari 50. So this one's Llamasoft, the Jeff Minter story, which I was like, okay, that's an interesting subject because I only know him from making like modern Atari games, like the Tempest 2000, Tempest 4000, and then the recent Switch port or re-release of Aka R. So the fact that we're going to be able to learn about 45 games, mind you, is on that collection. Basically all the way back from the 80s, like European PC scene is really cool. And it's done in that interactive documentary style where you're not just, it's sure you can just jump to game select and play the games, but that's not the point of the collection. You go through the timeline, you learn the document, you see the documents, you see the interviews, you see the blueprints of all the games, you see, and then it's like, hey, just want to jump in and see what it is. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And if Limited Run is doing the making of Karateka, I'm gonna assume they're gonna do the second one as well.
I was looking at Day of the Dev stuff as far as the Game Awards edition. They actually had in-person celebration, and you know what? That's in LA. Kind of wish I could have made some plans. Yeah, I kind of wish I made some plans for that.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I'll have to keep a lookout for that one. But
yeah. That was it. Yeah, that was my favorite announcement of Day of the Devs. I really love Digital Eclipse, and their collections have been just getting better and better as they go along. Like they started with Mega Man Legacy, and like from there to see them grow into what they're now doing as the Gold Master series, which is essentially just interactive documentaries. I think that's like the new standard for like retro collections. To really just not just like have these older games and that might not have aged well. It's to understand why they were important and why they're fun and why they're cool to look at, and like just video game preservation and historical facts. That's really what's cool about it.
Still looking over here. Yeah, is that everything?
Nope, that's definitely everything. I had to make sure, but yeah, I was like, something else happened this week that wasn't Game Awards, but wasn't Game Awards.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'd be remiss if Retro Philip here didn't like mention it. So,
I mean, there's also the absolute animation behind the latest Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, that's always happening by the week. That's
they gave Toto plus Ultra.
I saw that. I really need to actually sit down and watch the episodes and not watch clips all the time. It just shows up on my feed, and that's how I consume it. And that's one way to consume it, but I'd rather just watch the entire episode at that point. Man. But yeah, no, from what I've seen, yeah, that season is really popped off. And honestly, I would get it if the rest of animation just looked like ass at that point. Because, like, bro, they cooked way too much to a point where, like, I'm so concerned about those animators, everyone who's involved in those projects.
We never did talk about that. It's a little old, but it's still kind of relevant in a sense. Phil, I don't know if you're aware, but Studio Meppa has been cranking out a lot of high-level animation, and it's coming to light that the workers might not exactly be treating fairly.
What are you saying that in all that time they're giving out cracked out animation that they're not being treated fairly? What a shock!
Well,
I'm truly shook.
Well, honestly, the most damning thing is the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie and the time it was finished in.
Yeah, I did hear about this.
Did you hear about that, Justin?
Not the time bit.
How long do you think it took to make the movie?
You know what? Given what you just gave me contextually, probably 6 months,
4.
4 months. Wow,
It's very bad that
that's
they're doing that.
jeez, dude.
And the level of quality that movie was,
It was really
I
good.
can only imagine.
Mhm.
You were gonna say?
No. Just
No,
agreeing.
you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was dead ass just agreeing to you. Yeah.
Okay, but like, yeah, it's the people at Studio Mappa. It's also considering that the fact of they've been doing such hard work, and because of that, other things aren't getting finished, and that just makes you wonder because, like they said, like that one episode with Sukuna and Sukuna that was supposed to be that was only 30% of what they wanted to do. And when I heard that's only 30% of what they wanted to do, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
I was like, imagine if what you would have gotten if they would have given everyone the time to work on shit.
That's fair.
It's like I feel like you could still get that same high quality if you simply just allowed them to just, go a little bit longer. It's like
Hmm.
just not rush it. I understand wanting to make it so you can get the get you the vibe, like basically get the where the vibe's still going for Jujutsu Kaisen, to where the trends are still going, to where it's still popular. But if you just give it some time, the fans are still gonna be there. They're still gonna want to get out there. But I understand you want to hit it that vibe. But you're also, as you can see, biting your own self in the ass.
I
That's one way to put it, Mark. But yes,
see my
that's
perspective of it is that it's so straightforward. It may not even go down to like what the fans want. It's just the money involved.
duh. Yeah, it's always the money.
Because they've like not only worked on Jujutsu Kaisen like for a good while, but they've also adopted other like projects, which is like when you see map on screen, you almost are like, oh, that's so awesome, but you're also like, oh my god, is that like the fourth thing they picked up this year?
Yeah,
It's like, I don't know. The only honestly, the best way that we can get more about like the situation at hand is if like honestly like workers like come up front and start posting about their experiences. It's the only way you can really like address like some like actual stuff that's like happening in the background that you otherwise wouldn't see. Another thing that could be brought up about the Game Awards.
oof. That's a good segue.
Mm. Mm.
Not a segue I'd like to have, but it's definitely a good one.
Well, to Jeff Keighley and his team's like credit, it was a really good presentation because they were going like back to back. Like there wasn't really any type of slowdown here and there. There were definitely advertisements, sure, but it was also still relatively connected to just at large what it was all about. So, to their credit, I thought it was actually a really good presentation because of it. But the
Same.
corners they have to cut, that's something we could definitely like highlight.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
I think they obviously did this on purpose, but not really touching up on the games announced real quick, but the fact that Christopher Judge showed up and he was reminiscing just real quick about like the 8 minutes they had for a speech, and they were playing that off as like the joke of like, oh, of course music
And
played,
then my man hit the
the
Call of Duty campaign.
the
Everyone was
walk
like,
off
"Oh!"
joke, yeah. And he was having fun with that, and then that was it. And he did the announcements. That one guy from Larian Studios, yeah, they won, and it wasn't a joke anymore. And he was actually like limited in what he could say, and
Yep.
yeah, that kind of kicked it off. But you know what? Jeff talked about it, like the day after that. You know from his side of things, like he was trying to like have things ease up on like a lot of folks winning. But the damage was already done. Photos, the videos are already out there online as far as like what happened. When you have like a
Yep.
please wrap it up sign for people winning, Ainuma, for example.
That was really bad.
I was like, ooh,
I was like, how you gonna do that to AG Anuma of all people? Like,
yeah.
oof.
So the damage is done, but looks like going forward they're gonna try to like work with that, because I think it was such it almost feels like a hyper fixation of like how they wanted to bring in like different celebrities. It was like super big for the celebrities just to advertise like the entire like event. To the announcements, trying to get those as much, like get a lot of them through as much as possible. And it almost seems like it came at the expense of people who wanted to like share like their congratulations like to their respective like companies and studios. So yeah, just wanted to definitely
Yeah,
acknowledge that. This is why I was like, it's nice that we actually was able to sit down and talk about yesterday about games that like really matter to us. So because even though we don't really understand like all the internal processes of each individual game, it is good to just have that like platform to just talk about it at length, like as comfortably as you can without being like rushed.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It was interesting in that regard. Like I think I thought it was well paced. Now I understand why. But even then, it's still an award show, and it's something that we need to. I think there's. It's. Let me try to get my words for it.
Mm.
It was a good E3 show. It was a bad award show,
Oh,
and I think that speaks volumes because we're not just there for the announcements. Obviously, we're there for announcements, right? Like that's the key part, right? But I'm also there to see who legitimately gets honored for their work. You know what I mean? Like the fact that they gave best soundtrack on one of those like quick reels,
oh
like
yeah.
like oh my god, come on. But best audio was a main stage one. I'm not saying
Yeah.
none of them don't deserve the stage one. I'm just saying it's weird. Like it's weird. I think that most of the awards should have been on stage. They should be giving out like maybe 2, 3, 4 awards before they start giving announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It, like yeah, well back in the day it really was just like every single like category gets announced up front and people accept like the award and that's the bulk of the presentation. And nowadays they kind of like cut through like two of them at a time. Um and you know, people still cheer for that, but otherwise like no one really got a platform to even talk about like the award themselves and what went into like making it like deserving of like said category. So I was gonna say I
True.
was gonna look up Golden Joysticks Awards because like I didn't follow that one, but was that kind of like
I
that
believe that's
kind?
like that's the UK's version of the Game Awards.
Oh, okay.
I believe. I could be very wrong.
So that might follow like more like traditional way of like doing presentations for awards.
More than likely. I'd like to say yes. You know?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
the presentation seemed to be like at length, almost as long as we were actually talking about our top 10, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I might have to check that out as well. But yeah, there were definitely some announcements here and there. We can also like talk about like the favorite things that like won like certain categories. Might actually just like look up on the Game Awards website just to make sure I have everything here. Um, I'm happy that Final Fantasy 16 won something.
I'm happy it won Best Soundtrack because it deserves it. That
100%.
soundtrack is really incredible and completely elevates the game like to no extent. Like it's so good.
Mhm. And I was actually really shocked about like how many things that Alan Wake 2 like just took.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2 took a lot of things home. Like I said, if the Game Awards have taught me anything, it's that I clearly need to go out of my way to play Alan Wake 2.
Mhm. Let me think of some other ones that like won a couple things. Yeah, Baldur's Gate like winning like a fair number of stuff, including the RPG like category.
Yep. I
Uh,
Oh,
mean,
that was no
Baldur's Gate
surprise.
won.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not a surprise, but Baldur's Gate winning Game of the Year also
I'm happy that Armor Core 6 won Best Action Game. It's very nice.
deserves it. Nothing screams action than freaking
Mechs fighting.
armor. Yeah, Armored Core. So that makes sense to me. Like
Let's see.
that one was 100% deserved.
Sea of Stars winning Best Independent Game. That was the game that like got me to like start playing like The Messenger because of like the studio. So I gotta definitely like jump onto Sea of Stars at some point.
Yeah, Sea of Stars. I've been waiting for the physical copy next year. So that's when I'll tackle it. But man, it looks so good. I played the demo and I was like, fuck, I don't want to play anymore because I already know it's that good.
Ooh. You know, the weird one was definitely best ongoing game. That one, like,
That
that was
I don't
Cyberpunk.
think Cyberpunk should have won that, but
Honestly, from our
I s-
talks,
I
I
just
think Mario Kart should have been there.
and nominated, yes, but I still don't think Mario Kart should have won.
Fair enough.
I think Fortnite honestly deserves that award because of how much content they've been doing to it and all the seasons, how crazy it's been.
Mhm.
my issue with Cyberpunk winning it is simply because Cyberpunk is not a ongoing game.
Exactly. That's exactly why I was upset
It's like
about it.
it got a DLC, but it is not considered ongoing. In fact, they were saying that this DLC was going to be the only one it was going to get.
And version 2 is it. Like that's it.
Granted, you could say, are they still updating it in terms of like patches and stuff? Sure.
Sure,
Sure, but
But I don't know if that would classify it as being
an ongoing
considered
game.
ongoing.
yeah.
Because nothing new
No,
is
I
like
agree with that
expanded.
statement.
Aside from the DLC, nothing's getting expanded in that universe with that version update. From what I understand. But yeah, no, I think Fortnite like really takes it. Like this past month of what they're doing. Quick like side tangent. The fact that they're like including like a whole Lego thing. The fact they got racing, and people are posting now today
Dude,
about Fortnite Festival.
dude, they got Harmonix. My Harmonix has made my favorite rhythm game of all time, which is Rock Band and the original two Guitar Heroes, but more known for Rock Band. I love Rock Band. And the fact that they said Harmonix is the one making Fortnite Festival, I was like, hey, excuse me? So they put a Rock Band style mode in Fortnite. I already have to try it out. I have to. Is it out today?
I think so.
All right, I guess I'm playing it tonight. I guess I'm gonna try it out. I gotta play The Weeknd and Eminem, you know?
Oh my god.
Hey, they're in there.
The
They're in
funny,
there.
the funny bit is like obviously like it plays homage in the sense that they have like the very specific like instruments. A lot of music nowadays don't really use those instruments. Well, I mean, I would say a fair handful, but like still like all those all together, it's funny. But
Yeah.
from what I saw from the controls, yeah, it's like keyboard friendly, so it's like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. But yeah, oh no, Phil. Okay, real quick. Let me see. I think that was all the nominees. Obviously, there's
I'm good. Just give me 1 minute.
yeah. But game of the year, man, dude. I mean, I guess we kind of like expected it. It was Baldur's Gate 3,
I
and
wasn't surprised.
you know, for me, for me personally, I saw really what woke me up about Baldur's Gate was really the bear thing, because
The bear.
because I totally forgot about Baldur's Gate 3. Totally forgot about it. And then they just had this presentation where they just wanted to show this off that like, hey, you can do this. Granted, of course, it's not an actual bear. It's like it's a dude transformed into a bear, but you know.
You can sleep with a guy who's dressed like a bear.
And all of a sudden, like from my perspective, the game just got traction going forward until like its actual release. And then
I-
I saw people posting online like clips of their interactions with the different characters, and you know, it was more of that and less of the actual like game itself, which was kind of wild. That's not bashing them. That's just simply, I guess that's how like social media wants to portray like that game to me. But yeah, it's crazy that like when Tears of the Kingdom was out, like that was in May, and that almost felt like the surefire one, and like all these other games just popped up like around the corner and just took that.
I'm surprised Spider-Man 2 managed to even get in the awards. I would have figured it would have been at the cutoff point already.
No,
No,
they
oh, it
came
was
out literally
November,
the week after. No, October. The week
October.
after.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It came
Like,
out
what is it?
literally the same
like-
day as Mario Wonder.
It's like, what is considered the cutoff point?
Half of
December.
November.
Oh, half of
Half
November.
of November.
I was curious, like,
So-
what's too soon and what's too late?
Essentially, Mario RPG was not considered for best RPG this year because
It came out.
it came out after the cutoff point. So it's not being considered for the next year. But by that point, you got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and all these other games coming out. So there's no way.
Ooh.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
way.
Yeah, Rebirth is it's taking some awards. Just it's like 2020 did for remake.
Yep.
Man, dude, I can't wait for that one. It's crazy that they had another trailer to show, and I was like, I can't believe this. But so good
Well,
because of how they revealed it.
yeah.
Because you still have many questions about it. They show more, but you just ask more about it. And I think where they left it off, again, I'll keep saying it, like they're good. You don't need to show any more. You're good because it looks
Yeah,
like
for
the most
real.
expansive like Final Fantasy like 7 like remake series that there is yet. And they teased at the very end of that little like bit of a montage before they cut into like the whole like Game Awards like orchestra and our main lead singer. Yeah, they show that moment and it's like, oh no, oh no.
That
So
was so rude. I don't want to see that in HD. I'm scared.
yeah, they also I'm not sure if it was after the Game Awards, they actually released a trailer based on like that song. And that's where we get the release date. Of course, we already know it's like February, but that's when they told us in small text at the very end of that it's pretty much PlayStation 5 up until I think May of that end of May of that year.
Yeah,
So that means it's probably opened up to PC and possibly
makes
other
sense.
platforms.
It makes sense. Final Fantasy VII remake made it to PC. You
Yeah.
know.
It took a while though, but yeah. So, Mark, that would probably be like your way in.
Yeah, probably.
Whether that be, I mean, that's a couple months. So I'm actually really happy that a lot of people are going to have access to it like earlier than say like give it a year and then it'll show up.
Yeah, but we still don't know when we're getting 16.
Fair.
Yeah.
Ooh. And
Yeah.
16's got the DLC like prepped up too. It's like, whoa.
That's another thing. I still have to download it.
Oh yeah. That might change my plans too. Cause I'm like, when it comes to streaming games, I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't really need to like play through like additional post game content stuff. Like I played through the base game. Like I just kind of want to get through like the other like bits of my backlog. Otherwise, it keeps building. And you know what? Mario RPG and now Final Fantasy 16 is like make me think about going through that. It's rough on that front. Anyway, I shouldn't complain,
Mhm.
but here I am.
No. I feel it.
Thank you. I feel seen.
That's how I feel
hear-
all the time. But
We
I'm
hear
just like,
you. We hear you.
But as far as announcements, other announcements, I suppose, for the Game Awards, we actually were doing we were trying to film like full reactions to it, but we couldn't really. We missed the pre-show. Well, I mean, footage wise, you guys got to watch
footage-wise.
it, yeah. And then that's when we actually got started. But somewhere like around like the hour mark or something like that, Phil's PC actually blue screened on us mid
which
recording.
was unfortunate.
So just an FYI, like once I share that video, it's gonna be like kind of marginally cut off, and I'll give a disclaimer. I'll let everyone know what the situation was, which is what I just said. But yeah, so I think we jumped in the middle of like Wukong.
Yeah.
Which looks amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, do you want to go in order of like the announcements?
Yeah, I actually have it listed here.
Let's go. From the pre-show too?
Yeah, from pre-show.
Nice, let's do it.
The fact that Brothers Tell His Two Sons gets a remake, and I was like, whoa.
Was that the first pre-show
I
announcement?
think so.
Okay. What an interesting choice to remake. For people who don't know what Brothers is, it's Joseph Ferris, the guy who created A Way Out, and it 2021's game of the year, It Takes Two. It's his first game he ever made. So I guess he doesn't own the rights because somebody else is remaking it. It's not him. But having said that, it's an incredible game. I believe it won Best Indie when that game released in that year. I forgot which year it was. But it's also a weird remake because it's a PS4 and Xbox One game. So for it to just get a complete remake for next gen consoles, I was like, I mean, but I can already play the original. I don't know. Kind of weird. It's not like A Way Out and It Takes Two. You actually play it by yourself. You use both analogs to control both brothers.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. It's a really interesting game. It's got a really like heartwarming story. It's good. It's a good game.
Good to hear.
I'm interested in the remake. I don't know if I'm like completely there just yet.
Hmm. I have no idea about like this series, but it's called Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. I didn't even see this. Like I think I
I'm
heard
sorry,
it.
what did you call it?
It's called yeah, I know. Pony Island 2.
Yeesh. I don't know about
I don't
that
know
one,
what that would
Chief.
be. Yeah. I'm just listen, I don't make the rules.
Sounded like you just did.
I don't make the rules. It was just it's right here.
Hmm.
Anyway, just for transparency, I am reading this like from GameSpot's website about like all that's been like announced, pre-show and all. Rise of the Golden Idol. I don't really. It was just a teaser.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that one.
My problem is when you give me a trailer that has no like gameplay, I immediately shut my brain off. Like,
Yeah, it's like there's no information to process. It's just
yeah.
yeah. Next one's Usual June. There was oh right. It was
Oh,
Vinci.
it was
Yeah. Yeah, the ones who are behind,
yeah.
you know, Night in the Woods, Tunic. Yeah, they're working on a new
That's
thing.
right. That's right.
I believe they're working in collaboration with another like company, but yeah, no. Oh yeah, it's the one where like they're talking gibberish like as their voice lines. That's the only
Yeah, I
thing I
was like,
really
look at
heard
this
of it.
Banjo Kazooie ass. Like,
But it looks pretty
love it.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Saw a little bit of gameplay about that, so
That one was cool. That was a cool looking one.
yeah, we'll have to wait and hear more about that. Oh, Harmonium the musical. And anyway, next one. No. It's definitely for those are more musically inclined than I am.
It looked cool. It was fine.
It does look pretty
Yeah,
nice, yeah.
I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh man, I can't wait. But it was cool.
Hmm. I don't know about this one. Windblown? Oh, creators of Dead Cells. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's that game.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, dude, the animation on that was clean.
A little too clean, dog. I was not expecting it to be that gory in the trailer. I was like, oh my god.
But still, I was impressed by the animations. I was like, yo, holy shit.
Oh,
Mappa?
dude, that's how Dead Cells animation is. If you've never played
Oh
it.
yeah,
Really?
I've seen the animations for it before.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like their Return to Castlevania trailer was so cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
What's the next one here? Some cosmic eraser. It's called Thrasher.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. In the sense that I was like, oh, all right, that was a thing.
Certainly happened.
Yep.
Something interesting that did happen was the announcement of Dredge and Dave the Diver having their collaboration.
For what game is it going to be for? Is it for Dave the Diver?
I think it's more Dave the Diver.
Okay, so Dave the Diver is getting a collaboration, a DLC based on Dredge. Got it. I had to make sure to clarify that because I was like, is it for Dredge or is it for Dave the Diver?
Yeah, it's for Dave the Diver.
All right, that's cool.
Apparently, it's coming soon.
Kind of
Those
both.
games both involve the sea, so that makes sense.
It's kind of both, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, but I think that's all that was announced like for the pre-show, and we just jumped straight into it. Is it?
There's one more you're missing for pre-show.
What am I missing?
It was the big one. It was
clearly GameSpot missing out on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was the new story trailer for Fantasio de Metaphor.
Oh,
Metaphor,
Metaphor de
Which looks
Fantasio.
really good.
Man,
yeah, I did see that. That was actually really
I
dope.
think it's super funny that this team left Atlas after Persona 5. They left Atlas to make their own game. And then Atlas was like, you know what? That looks good. We'll publish it. So it just looks like another
what's the
Persona
point?
game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the point?
I was like, what was the point? But no, it looks good. It looks like it's not quite Persona 6 because it's got its own things going on. But you know, when you got the composer from Persona and you got like the designer and everyone coming from that team, it's like, well, that one might be a banger. I think that one is going to be a banger when it comes out. We'll see.
Mm.
But it's got the style, it's got the look, it's got the music already. I was like, man,
It's got the spirit.
yep. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this big new RPG by Atlas, quote
Mhm.
unquote.
Or I guess in this case, the Persona.
Yeah. Well, because P Team still exists, right? But it's a different.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of new people now.
Huh.
I was gonna say, I don't know whether it's confirmed that this takes place in the Persona universe or it's just
No.
being made.
It
by the
probably
same team, so
probably
it looks like
doesn't.
Persona.
No, does not
It's
take place in the
definitely-
same universe.
It's just like very familiar folks. Like,
And
working on it.
also, Mark, you uncultured swine, how dare you say Persona universe? It's the Shin Megami Tensei universe.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Gomenazai.
Sorry, I gotta represent the SMT fans.
It's
Well,
rough. It's rough when like the spinoff is like well known.
That's the problem, is that the spin-off is more well known than the main series, and that's unfortunate.
That could also be considered a huge achievement, though.
I mean, look, Persona's huge. I get it.
It's like the whole Maroon 5 incident.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I got a little bit of history on that. I was like, oh, they actually were under a different name, and then
Back in
They
the
were?
day, yeah, they have an album before the Maroon 5's first album was what songs about Jane.
Hmm.
Yes, so the album before that was under their name Kara's Flower, and there's a song
Paris Flower.
Kara's Flower, yes, and it's what was the song called? Soap Disco. It's a good song. I like the
Soap
song.
Disco.
Yeah, it sounds like 90s is all hell, but it's good.
Yeah.
That sounds. Soap. I hear soap disco. That sounds like some kind of
It's
song they
very-
play in an adult film.
Yeah, it's very poppy, it's very something. But I actually like your analogy, Justin, because you're right. When the spin-off is more popular than the main source, because like Adam Levine is the most popular person in that band.
That man
Compared
got
to the fact that at this point I like to call their new albums Adam Levine featuring Maroon 5.
that man got embarrassed the last year, though.
Yeah.
Make no
Persona
mistake,
doesn't get it
there
first.
was that. But yeah, the main like takeaway is the fact that Adam Levine, from what you told me, Phil, was he wanted to try something different, like from the
Yeah.
existing band. So they made Maroon 5 and became I mean, history tells itself. Yeah, it's very very popular versus like what they were like putting out there. So they just stuck with it.
Yeah.
And that's just like, same thing with the Shin Megami Tensei versus Persona.
But like SMT is so good. But yeah, no, I get it though. I get it. Persona's better. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. But yeah. Just
Adam
what
Levine
I'm trying to get at is, Mark, I'm trying to correct you. That's all it is. I'm just trying to correct Mark.
When Adam Levine looks at Persona and he's like, "Damn, girl, just damn."
Damn, girl, just damn. I can't believe how fine you are. My God. Just,
I'm gonna have to see the. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see the booty though. I was like, bruh, Adam, you ain't never gonna live that one down, man. That one's gonna be with you forever now.
that's so unfortunate for him.
I mean, his career's still going. That definitely was an embarrassing moment for him.
Nah, embarrassing moment was his performance at the Super Bowl. But what am I talking about?
Okay, Christopher Judge.
Oh my God. Hey, yo.
It was longer than the Call of Duty campaign. I was like, damn. That was unprovoked.
Okay, you want my opinion on it? It's a joke. Everybody needs to chill out. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's not. It is a joke, obviously, but it's like even the devs are still like, they're laughing. They're like, what the fuck?
Hey, bro,
'cause
you got a
apparently-
joke, but that hurts.
So many people were offended by that joke, apparently.
Really? Because I mean, I thought I took it as like it did have an energy like it was a shot.
I don't know. People were really upset about that joke, and I'm like,
Really?
who cares?
Like, I get if devs were kind of like about that, but like, just
The
people.
devs seemed to, at least the ones that were on screen, they laughed.
the ones on screen.
Honestly, my attention in the crowd was always on the man wearing the suit of armor.
Fair,
the,
fair.
The director of, or the owner of Lorien, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
was funny.
Like, every time we say, it, we're like, why is he wearing a suit of armor?
Because he's a goddamn G, dude. Like, that's just how it is.
Or my other friend's thing. Why is there among us the big dick?
Oh,
The Twitch chat was wild.
the Twitch chat always wilds.
They do.
Twitch chat always wilds.
Where are the
But
mods?
the mods were not existent at that point.
Yes. Okay.
I
Was
know it's
that the?
funny because
Hmm?
the girl, my friend asked, "Who even is this woman?" I said, "I don't know who she is." He looks it up. Oh, she like does stuff for IGN. I was like, "Oh, that explains who she is. I guess
Okay.
and why she's here presenting stuff."
Mhm.
Oh,
And
Sydney Goodman?
yeah, Sydney Goodman.
She does not work for IGN anymore.
What was it? What did she do now? I forget
Is
what
she
she
just
does.
She's
independent?
freelance. She's just
Freelance?
freelance.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, she's a
Okay.
freelance, but she's been doing it since she was at IGN. And then so Jeff is just like, that's my girl. I gotta put her in there. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair.
That's fair.
She seems nice, very pretty.
She knows what she's
The
doing.
fu-
Yeah.
the funniest thing though was like when I said, I don't know why, I just noticed I was like, why her knees look like little faces.
Oh my god. Anyways, what's the next?
I
So after metaphor,
I think is that it?
that
For
was when they
pre-show?
started the show.
Oh, okay.
No shade, Sydney, just something I noticed.
Yeah. You know, this is where you know, like, this is when people start. Oh, you immediately start picking up, like, as far as like what Jeff like wanted to put out there when Matthew McConaughey shows up.
Dude,
Oh
immediately
my
when he got
god.
out there, when I heard Matthew McConaughey, I said, alright.
And then he did it. And then I
Yeah,
was like,
he was like,
you
I got
son of a-
now. I gotta say the line that precedes me. All right, all right, all right. But no, they want me to say pew,
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 pew.
pew.
But he
I
actually didn't want
said,
to
well,
announce. He
oh
wants
yeah, the game they're working on looks great.
Oh yeah. Well, so I looked it up a little bit more, and I've actually seen that game before. So I was like,
Exodus.
oh, Exodus looks kind of tight. I ain't gonna lie.
It definitely looks like inspired by Mass Effect.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah, sure, but
Jeff's even said that too. I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it really does look like Mass Effect. So I'm looking forward to it. Sci-fi
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely down
RPG.
to play it. It looks great.
Yeah, we'll have to see a little bit more. I'm glad there was one that actually did show some gameplay. Otherwise, it looked really cinematic, and you know that's great. But also, like, where's the gameplay? Oh, there it is.
And then there was
yeah.
that one girl came back. I fucking love this girl every time she's on stage. It's that one Japanese girl. What's her name?
Oh,
She
the
came
one
in-
that was working on Ghostwire, but then ended up leaving the project, right?
I
Yeah,
love that woman so much.
that's definitely further out in the presentation. But
Like
yeah,
she
no, she's
announced her
great.
new project. Yeah, she announced her new
Uh,
project. What's it called again? What is her project called again? What is her project
I
called again?
forgot it. I forgot its
Something
name.
Kurumi.
I think it's Karumi,
Yeah.
which looks very interesting.
We'll have to see a little bit more. I don't think I really saw gameplay, but you know,
But
they gave you like the idea, like the vision, and I was like, okay,
right,
I see it.
her herself, I love her though. I love her energy. She's fucking adorable.
Yeah,
Honestly,
she's funny.
always just a play. Oh, she's hilarious too. Always just a pleasure to see her on the stage.
Hmm. Everyone
Yep,
loves
yep,
her.
yep.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
but just kind of going more in order. The following was something I wasn't even expecting. I guess like if I were to have listened more to like the track before the appearance of Kratos, I would have picked that up. But it's an expansion DLC, free
That's
DLC.
right.
That free
That's right.
99.
Roguelike free expansion.
Yes,
Roguelike free expansion, which kind of scared me a minute, but you know what? What scares me is that I have to get all the trophies. I platinum.
Don't know. It's got a whole slew of new like trophies to earn.
Does that mean you'll lose your platinum?
Technically, yeah, because I think I completed Spider-Man for like 2018, but then it got new DLC, and so I don't actually have 100% anymore.
They should at least let you keep the platinum, but like say like if you get it again, they'll give you like if with DLC, they'll give you like it like I don't know like a little bit bigger of a platinum, like
A
to make it
s-
slightly bigger,
A super platinum.
super platinum or platinum plus.
Yeah, so yeah, that reminds me I do need to like finish up like that DLC for Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man. And then we'll jump into Spider-Man 2.
And not too long after that announcement, I'm sure it's on the list. Oh, that's when I went off.
Mark, slow down. I get it. I get it 100%. But yeah, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. Say that 10 times
Yep.
fast. Big walk. Relax. The Untitled Goose Game like groups got Big Walk in. That looks very silly, and I love it.
Yeah, I did.
I think there's more than
That-
like 4 players on that too, so it's like it gets crazy.
That was so weird. I was just like, oh, okay, sure. That looks like a game by the people who made Untitled Goose Game. Yeah.
It does. The following thing that I have here, and it's all on GameSpot. I'm like looking it up here. Hellblade 2.
I did see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
My God, dude. Hellblade 2 is like one of my most anticipated like Xbox games next year. It's up there. It's
Very, very real looking.
man, have you played Hellblade 1?
No.
Oh, well, don't come at me until you play number 1. I'm not just kidding. I'm kidding, but you should. It's very good.
I don't,
Mark,
my brother told me since I don't like scary stuff, I probably shouldn't.
It's not that it's
Also, go ahead.
scary,
How's it going?
more like she deals with psychosis.
Now you see, that is disturbing.
And so the game is best played with headphones because it's the whispers. The whispering gets to you.
No, I'm good.
You know what?
like-
I'll
it's like
appreciate it from afar.
It's
yeah.
not scary, more like unsettling. You sit there and you're playing with your headphones, and all you hear is whispers on each spot, different whispers on each side of the speakers going off.
Oh,
at
I
once.
would
And
hate
you're like-
that.
And it's like, oh my God. Like, and it's trying to put you in her shoes to feel what psychosis kind of feels like.
Mhm.
I would despise that.
Oh, you're missing out on what essentially is like one of the best modern games. It's so good.
Oh, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, me personally, for me, I would hate that.
That's fair. Because I was really thinking about that for a little bit. I was like, oh boy. I think it's great just for like another layer of like insight on the character during like sequences of events.
But no, I think that definitely works to the game's strength, and I think that's a very cool way to actually put you in the way of the character's shoes. But for me, that would just make me so uncomfortable.
100%.
Yeah. I feel that, but I don't know. I guess I'm just built different.
You're just built different.
Phil-
Okay.
Phil's built Tonka tough.
He's built Tonka tough. Hold on.
Like,
Moon
I don't know what you want from me,
Studios. Just jumping
Oh
on to the next
my
one. They got a
God.
new project. These are the folks behind Ori. No Rest for the Wicked, it's called.
I was so like enthralled by that game. I was like, no way, dude.
It's top down, which is very different from the side-scrolling Ori.
Yes.
Sure, but
We'll see like how that plays out. But they got art check. Music is probably checked. Like, what else?
I am gonna miss the Ori games though. They were so good and so pretty.
Same. They were, you know what? They were emotional, but they were also like, for like platform lovers, yeah, it was there.
It would crush your heart, but at the same time, it would be one of the most beautiful things you ever see.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Mm.
No, I get it, but like at the same time, oh my God, dude. Like, look, Ori's really good, and that game looked extraordinary. I was like, I'm in. I
Oh, yeah,
am
it definitely looks good.
all the way in.
And I'm assuming since this is the Ori team that worked on it, we'll probably be seeing it on Game Pass.
Maybe it is
fair.
not being. It's not
Mhm.
being published by Microsoft this time around, though.
Oh,
that
yeah, that's
might be a
right.
difference then.
Might be multi-platform.
It is
Ooh.
PS5, PC, and Series X. is
Let's
confirmed
go. All right. Okay, Mark, now we can jump into this one. Immediately. Oh, I heard that. So, you know, Jeff Keighley just said, like, just very casually, this is something that Dragon Ball fans were waiting for. And, you know,
Oh
I
my
knew
God.
immediately what it
Yeah.
was. I think in the back of everyone's minds, who knows Mark is like, Mark's losing it right now, and you know, thank you for the supportive text on that one. Just a block of
Ah!
It
was
looks
so
really
funny.
crazy good.
Yeah.
They decided to go with the new name change that kind of carried the spirit going forward. It's called Dragon Ball Sparking! Exclamation point 0.
Mark had to fact check me because I didn't know that that's what the Japanese name was for Budokai Tenkaichi, Sparking. So I was like, what do you mean this is Budokai 4 or Tenkaichi 4? I was like, it's called Sparking. That's not the same.
I was squealing.
I think
I was squealing, yelling. I got a text from downstairs telling me to be quiet.
y'all calm your heads down. I think
But oh my
dopest
God,
moment
does it look good,
was Vegeta deflecting the beam. I was like, whoa.
bro? It looks so clean.
It looks good. I'm really excited. I love the Budokai Tenkaichi series, so I was like, oh man.
From what we were able to see, they're keeping it similar. It's like how Tenkaichi used to play, modernized, and it looks so good.
I was not expecting Broly to show up so early on. I was like, oh my god, that's Broly, Super Broly.
I think they definitely had to do that to make sure you understand that Super is now a thing. So
Oh yeah.
Yep, and as we
Yeah.
saw also saw from all the trailer characters flashing on the screen, GT is also going to be present.
good.
Was it GT as well? Which
GT
character?
was in Tenkaichi 3.
I'm pretty sure we saw Baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
GT was in Tenkaichi 3.
He was,
sure.
yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but they're telling you right now in this one that they're confirming off the bat, expect a big roster, and I'm just like,
As you should.
Mm.
Tenkaichi has one of the biggest rosters in fighting game history. So
I know,
That's
but
so
my
wild.
question is gonna be, where is the line gonna be? Because if they go anywhere outside of just OG 2 Super, that includes GT. If they go anywhere outside of that, if we see any characters outside of that, all bets are off. Of what anybody could get in at that point. That means it could be anything from heroes, anything from legends, anything.
Oh, I didn't even think about heroes. Okay. All right.
I'm sure the modding community is already going to get on that. I'm sure.
Oh, 100% actually.
And considering, here's the other thing, I didn't realize this until just before the podcast, or I think actually during the podcast, because I had just seen this and I was like, huh. Apparently, this game's been in development for 5 years.
Yep.
Let's go.
I was like, huh.
It's funny. I looked at my Twitter feed and it's Fortnite Festival and it's Vegeta playing on guitar.
God,
Love it.
God damn it.
Love it. Also, another Dragon Ball Fortnite event is coming.
Actually, it's already out, no?
It might be, yeah. It's with Cell and Frieza.
Yep, it's out.
Oh, you mean that one? Yeah. People are gonna recreate memories. What's next here?
Can we just say I am beyond excited. We haven't had a new one since 2007.
That's so wild to think about, honestly.
Yeah.
And it looks perfect.
Honestly, this Game Awards actually was a great set piece for a lot of nostalgia games that just kind of pop off out of nowhere as well.
Honestly, for Nick, since it's got a year, it's got another year or two before it's coming out. So we very well could see this winning, I think, next year's most anticipated game.
No, anticipated game next year was won by Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
And I'm saying for the year. I'm saying
the
for
following year.
Oh, for 2025? I'm sorry, kid.
It's got to be Grand Theft Auto, actually.
GTA 5, GTA 6 is about to take that, no problem.
Sure, at least be nominated, hopefully.
Somewhere. Nominated? Sure.
I think visually,
really? No.
Visuals and whatnot, it's gotta that ourselves clean.
Honestly, I would understand completely GTA 6 winning, but if Sparking Zero did a comeback and actually won, I would be cheering.
It'd be crazy if it had a lot of it was adopted for competitive fighting games.
There's a way, the Tenkaichi series is one of those few arena brawlers where I feel like you honestly could do esports with it.
No, but it's okay.
Sorry, you're wrong. But I like to say, jeez.
Well, you see, Phil, you can suck a dick.
I could. You know
he
what?
said I could.
And you know what? I'll do it just to spite you.
What?
He said, and you know what? I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah. Try me.
Try me.
I'm good.
Cat, get in here. Cat, stop him.
Stop him. Man. No. For real though. There's a lot of good shit next year, and I can't wait.
Fair enough. Here we go. We got another. It's kind of part of the. It's kind of part of Dead by Daylight. It's the casting of Frank Stone. It's actually not
no idea what the fuck that's about.
It's not a new character per se, but it's how do they describe it?
It is. It's the Supermassive game, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it's a narrative choice-based game in the world of Dead by Daylight. It's the same team who made Until Dawn, the Dark Picture anthologies.
Mm-hmm.
The Quarry,
Yeah.
for anything recent, and yeah, they make really good games. I'm really excited to. I don't really care for Dead by Daylight, but you know the lore sounds cool.
Mhm.
So getting to just like find out the lore of the killer in Dead by Daylight sounds awesome, and just a narrative choice game. So like you can have the teens die if you want, and if
Oh
you
my
don't, then it's all
god.
good.
All of a sudden it's a different
What?
game at that point.
Yep. 1 minute.
Okay. Oh man. Cause it
Mailman!
yeah, because like he's stopping at a point of like the announcements where it's like this is the game that like Phil is physically shaking me about.
He's back now. You can now do it.
Oh, okay,
No, I'm
okay.
good. I was just the dogs are freaking out. I think Katrina's home.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mommy, 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 mommy.
Mama.
Basically, they don't like me. Rude.
Yeah, no. So if chronological here still is working here, chronological
Phil,
order.
it's your turn to pop off.
This was the announcement
Oh, is
where
it
like
time?
Phil is physically shaking me. It was Visions of Mana.
I can picture
Oh
it.
my god, dude.
I can picture him reaching over physically and just making it like an earthquake is happening only to you.
It looks
I-
very clean.
I love the Mana series. It is one of my favorite RPG series of all time. Not all of them hit. I will admit, you know, like after you play really after Trials of Mana, or I guess in Japanese Seiken Densetsu 3, it kind of wavers in quality, right? Like I think Legend of Mana's not as bad as people say. It's actually kind of underrated.
Hmm.
But Children of Mana, Heroes of Mana, the DS games, they're right.
Okay,
Not the
okay.
best, but they're not the worst. Realistically, the mainline games, the main four are the best ones. And even Dawn of Mana, which is Seiken Densetsu 4, is kind of it's rough, but let me put it this way. Seiken Densetsu 1, which you may know in English as Final Fantasy Adventures. That is a Mana game. Yeah, that is a Mana game. It's kind of like how they did with Yoshi's Island. They put the Mario World name to sell it. That's what they
Fair.
did here. They put the
Fair.
Final Fantasy name because it was big, but it is a Mana game first and foremost. That was a Game Boy game, and then you obviously everyone knows Seiken Densetsu 2, which is commonly known here in the States as Secret of Mana. So
Oh, okay.
I don't think I need to explain that one. That's one of my favorite that's probably like I think my second favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. So I get it. I feel it. I love that game. And then the third one was the one we never got up until the year it came out on Switch on the Collection of Mana, and that is Trials of Mana or Seiken Densetsu 3. And that's the one that got the remake. The new full-blown 3D remake, the same year as Final Fantasy 7 remake. So I was like, man, what a time to be alive. And I loved it. I thought it was incredible to just play that game. The remake does so much right for the series and pushes the series forward, even though it's a remake of the third game. The fourth game, Dawn of Mana or Seiken Densetsu 4, is fine. It's not amazing, but you know, it's a PS2 game. It's not bad. The reason I'm bringing these up is especially Trials of Mana remake is because Visions of Mana looks like it's taking that engine further and really pushing that 3D action RPG style. I'm hoping that it's not a long game because I want it to be like Trials, where it's a 20-hour-ish game, but you can play it again with a different cast and get different endings and different story bits. So that's important because Trials of Mana, the whole point is that you can choose 6 characters, and depending on who you pair with, you get different story bits and different crossing, like different story paths.
Okay.
So with Visions of Mana, by the way, it's called Visions because it has the V in the front for 5. So it is
got it.
Seiken Densetsu 5, which is crazy. Yeah, it looks like there's multiple characters. I'm probably gonna play with the main one to see.
Sure.
But oh my god, dude, I love the Mana series. The music is incredible. The visuals are outstanding. It's probably not going to be the best RPG in the world, but it is going to be a really good one.
I guess let's start that series now.
Yep, coming to Steam, PS5, and Series X. It is skipping Nintendo, which is really weird considering
But
All the Mana games up to
yeah,
this point have been on Nintendo, except for like the Legend of Mana game and Dawn of Mana. They haven't been on Nintendo. But Legends of Mana just came out on Switch, like in a remaster.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dawn of Mana is still the only Mana game to elude any Nintendo platform. The only reason I'm saying that is because Trials of Mana came out for PS4 and Switch, the remake, and the Switch version sold the most. So
You should tell them.
really little weird. Plus, Collection of Mana is Switch exclusive, so it's like,
Yeah, I guess I'll
I
have to
don't
start
know.
there.
I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I also kind of think that they're waiting for the next Switch, but that's a whole nother conversation for
Oh, it
another
is.
time.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking about it, but I was like, yeah, we don't really know too much about that yet.
As of right now, that's a PS5 pickup for me. I'm very excited
enough.
to play through Visions of Mana.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my shit. I was like, no fucking way, dude. This is
Yeah.
not happening. This is not happening. And I like cried.
I like to imagine that Justin's hair was completely just everywhere. It was
No.
It,
He was like, nah, it was just shoulders.
I like shook him. I jumped up off the couch and I got to the side off camera and I was on the floor for a minute and then I got up.
and then he needed a tissue.
I just sat down. I was like,
He sat back
"There's
down.
No way.
And he was
I was like,
good.
there's no way this is actually happening."
My man needed a second.
Yeah, he just needed the second.
I was like, oh my god, it's really happening. So
It's good to hear, though. Yeah, it is sad that Switch is not really getting that support there yet. For now, we will see what's going on.
it might happen. I do want to say I said that Dawn of Mana and no, Dawn of Mana is the only one that's eluded a Nintendo console. I lied. I think the first game remake, because they've remade the first 3 games.
Mhm.
Trials of Mana remake being the most recent remake. But by the way, I'm gonna name it by its official new name now. Instead of Final Fantasy Adventures, it's now called Adventures of Mana, and that is clever. And it's that remake has not been on Switch. It's a Vita game.
Oh, well, I mean,
no physical copy, so I have it downloaded, thankfully. But yeah, it's a Vita game and a mobile game.
huh?
Yeah, weird. And then Secret of Mana remake has also not appeared on Switch. That's also been a PlayStation 4 only game and Vita, but don't touch the Vita version, PS4 version.
Oh, okay.
So give or take, Switch has the originals essentially, and all the other platforms have the newer ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited. Mana is so cool. I love that series. It's very charming. It's very, yeah, you should. It's good. It's very good. All action RPGs. With the exception of Adventures of Mana being a Zelda style game. Top-down Zelda.
Interesting. Okay.
Justin, if you're gonna start from the first game, please use a guide. Don't
choose a guide.
Use a guide. Because there's you can get far on your own, but there are some things at the end where you're like, how was I ever supposed to know that? That's what happened to me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Secret of Mana, though, it should be fine. I was gonna say Secret of Mana. I was gonna say one day we should get together to play it because Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana are multiplayer.
Oh,
not the remake, unfortunately. Not the remake. Not Trials of Mana remake. That one is set as single player, but the original Super Nintendo / Famicom games, those are multiplayer.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah, the Secret of Mana has 3 players if you can get its multi-tap. That's really cool. So one day. Yeah, one day.
The next thing we have listed here is it's Hideo Kojima.
Oh my god, I could not believe that shit.
Yeah, he gets a very spectacular opening. Jordan Peele slowly follows through, and yeah, it's them working on this new project of theirs. It's OD.
OD.
It's under Xbox, so it's gonna be a game for all players and screamers as they advertise it. So I'm out. I don't know.
I'm out. I can't do it.
I think what they showed as far as people like reading out lines and that one girl absolutely freaking the hell out. Yeah, no. So I don't know about that one, Chief.
I will say that So for clarification, this is that cloud game that they were
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
Kojima announced back in that E3 way like too long ago.
Too
The
long
E3
ago.
where they promised like a bunch of stuff within the year. Remember that?
Oh.
No, it was the E3 before that.
Hmm?
Either way, he promised this game at Xbox for that E3. So this is an Xbox game, and one of the big exclusives that they announced alongside Hellblade and another game we'll get to later.
Oh, that's
Because
the
I am
one.
getting confirmation about that other game being a Series X exclusive. So I was like, oh, buddy.
Mm.
But Odie sounds interesting. This is a Kojima game, so I don't care what it is. I'm gonna play it, but I just know that it's gonna be off the walls and batshit crazy, and everything in that game is gonna be weird and wild. And
Gee.
yep, I'm in.
We'll
I'm
see
in.
how.
I'm in. But
Yeah.
it is Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele, and that is the scariest like collaboration I've. Unexpected? No, because he's been posting pictures of him hanging out with him like for like 2 years.
Well, I didn't
now.
know that was unexpected to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is gonna be so creepy because Jordan Peele is like a modern like horror master right now. Like all 3 of his movies have hit.
You wouldn't expect that from the guy who's a comedian.
Right.
You say that, but comedians to be good at comedy, you end up being good at other things.
True.
And Robin Williams proved that when he did what's that movie where he's like he works in the Photoshop. It's a suspense movie where he's like following a family using the photos they bring in.
Huh.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's the meme. It's the movie where he gets the meme from, the Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Evangelion. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it's that yeah. I was gonna say Jordan Peele's horror movies are really good. Really good. Us is the highlight, but yeah, to see him collaborating with Kojima is just holy crap. That sounds terrifying, and I'm in.
Ooh. Well, kind of like a stark contrast from what I see here as far as announcements. It's Fortnite racing, rocket racing.
The Psionics game.
Yes. I haven't really seen much gameplay on that one except for like maybe a bit of like what the trailer showed off. Interesting. I think it's interesting that they're deciding to span out to different like genres, and it's probably working out for them greatly.
Yeah, it is a little interesting. I think what was I going to say? It's cool that they're getting other developers to help them, right? Like get the developers who know what they're doing with that kind of style of game before just doing it on your own. And Psionics obviously knows how to make a car game. They're the creators of Rocket League. So it's essentially Rocket League physics, but racing. I need to figure that part out, which would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So I'm looking forward to trying it. It is part of this big old thing that they're doing now. So it's free, so you can just play it.
Free 99.
Same with Lego Fortnite. So
and
Fortnite Festival. So
yeah, alrighty. I think this is the part where Jeff like announces that we got the Game Awards orchestra on set, and this is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Just the general theme.
That opening song was great.
It was good,
dude. Nobuo Uematsu actually writing the song is so like heartwarming. The fact that he's still making music to this day is just man, his music. Chef's kiss, dude. Oh man, if nobody knows, he is the original composer for Final Fantasy 1 all the way to 10. He's got some songs in 11, he's got some songs in 12, but it's not just him anymore. And then he kind of just stopped after that. And then he hasn't touched a mainline since. But he is the overseer for all of the Pixel remaster music. He is the overseer for the 7 remake music, and he's even put his own original songs in too as well. So still making music.
Crazy, dude.
Crazy. He's also done the music for all the Mistwalker games. So Blue Dragon. He did the music for. I'm trying to remember the name of the game. I believe it's. It eludes me. Hold on, Mark. JRPG that's really popular on Xbox.
Lost Odyssey?
Yep, there it is.
Sorry, that's
the one that they own.
Yeah. That's the one. He did the music for that one too, and he's done the music for The Last Story as well on Wii.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he's done other couple of games too. But yes, for the most part, RPGs are his bread and butter.
All right.
All right.
No, that was Exodus.
Oh my god.
No, it's crazy.
No, Go ahead.
Sorry, it was Jeff. He was saying like, yeah, like Final Fantasy fans are eating, but it's not the only bit of news for Final Fantasy 7 fans. And we were like, oh my god! But it was Apex collab.
I was like, Kristoff, rise up! Kristoff, rise up!
To be fair, that was cool. I was like, well, I guess I'm playing Apex again.
Yeah.
So funny, dude.
I get to use the Buster Sword.
I don't want to, but like, you got me. Like,
it's my OC, the Muster Sword.
Oh my god,
dude. That's so funny. The next thing I have here listed is the guy who has done like his work in Assassin's Creed Origin. Some other works as well.
Oh my god.
It was the game he's devoted to his dedicated to his father. What was it called? Tales of Kenzera Zhao. So it was very heartwarming. I'm glad he had the time to really just kind of talk at length about like what this like meant to him. The fact that he talked about Kingdom Hearts and Golden Sun. I was like, he's real. He's real for that.
Oh, he's a real one.
And then he shows the game off, and it's actually cooking. And you're like,
looks incredible. It looks like it's such a fun Metroidvania, and it looks just as modern as like Metroid Dread or Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And I'm like, oh man, I need to play this. Like, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in too.
Yep. That's on PlayStation 5, Series X, and Switch.
Really? Switch? Okay.
Yep. That's why I was like, oh, buddy.
Let me see. We have what was it? The folks behind why am I blanking on the name? But the game itself is called Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. So similar to God, I do not remember. Life is Strange series.
Oh yeah, Don't Nod.
Yes. So that's their new narrative adventure game. So there's that as well. I only remember because I was like, oh yeah, what was the one game that Life is Strange that they don't ever advertise? I think it's Life is Strange 2. Where it's like, it's the brothers, I think.
Yeah, that's 2. Yep, that's 2.
Okay. This next one was kind of like out of nowhere. It's Blade. It's Marvel's Blade.
Okay. So that's the other big Xbox exclusive. Okay, so I'm getting confirmation that is a Xbox platform and PC exclusive.
Sick.
So I was like, oh my god, dude, what a hell of a property to get. Because hey, look, if PlayStation can have Spider-Man, Xbox can have Blade. That's all I'm just saying.
You're ready to say, hey, all's fair.
All's fair, man. And I'm excited because Blade is like one of my favorite Marvel characters. So a third-person action game developed by Arcane Leon. Not the Redfall developer, not that Arcane. That's Arcane Austin. We're talking about Deathloop, Dishonored, Arx Fatalis. We're talking about the good team, like the best like Arcane team, the one that wins awards. So I'm like, oh crap, that's gonna be incredible, dude. That's gonna be a crazy game. I don't think we're seeing that game till 2025 though.
Yeah. Let that one cook for sure. Because I'm really curious as to how it's gonna even play out. Because you said like this, if anything, these are the folks that like made like Dishonored. That's like the first person like. Otherwise, you could kind of see that. So like, it's a third person type.
It is a third person action game. This is their first one ever. They're usually known for making first person shooters or first person games.
All right, so
Which
yeah,
I think they definitely could have made a first person Blade, but they probably was working with like the actual vision they had for it.
Maybe, yeah. So I guess we'll have to see. Let them cook a little bit for that one. Oh, the next announcement we have here is it's the one that's kind of a fake out because it almost like what was it, Zone of the Enders?
Oh, I thought it was Jehuti on the screen. I was like, no way. It's not.
It's not. It's called Mecha
It's like,
Break.
oh.
And fresh.
To be fair, it definitely heavily inspired by Gundam.
Yeah, you can see the design. I honestly saw the gameplay. I was like, oh, that kind of feels right off the boat of Armor Core. I was like, oh, it looks like
Right.
Armor Core.
I thought the same thing. I thought, okay, this is the look of Gundam, but the gameplay of Armored Core, which isn't bad. That's a good idea.
Apparently, it's a multiplayer mech battle game. So
I'm down.
That scares me, but yes.
yeah, it's kind of scary a little bit, but yeah. We'll see.
I think it's got potential. I'm down to play it.
See, this is why I love you, Mark, because you give like the games I would never give a chance, a whole chance.
The whole chance.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you never know. It might be good.
You're not wrong. Maybe it's just be me being ignorant. You're not wrong. But I don't know. I just I don't really care for those kinds of games.
He doesn't want to hop in the mech.
No, I want to hop in the mech. I love games like Zone of the Enders, and I liked Damon Cross Machina. It was fine. So
Get
it's
the
like
fucking robot Shinji.
Shinji, crank that Soldier Boy. Yes, Asuka.
Bruh.
The next one we have here is Palia. It's the I believe that is like another farming simulation game. So
so I'm immediately out.
you know how we talked to Sephi about it and her love for like those sim games, and yeah, she might keep her eyes on this one.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see, we got another one. This is oh boy, Hello Games, right? This is the Lights No Fire game. So
okay.
To be fair, I'm not completely against it.
Not completely.
Mark, no. I want to hear what Mark says because I have a whole contradiction against it right now. Go for it.
I got my rebuttal ready.
Mainly just because it seems, of course, graphically compared to No Man's Sky, it's looking. But then again, I was watching the Twitch things. Maybe it looked better in 4K. Who knows? But so far from what I've seen, I think it would be. It looks like it could be a fun game to just explore and mess around with friends. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Mark, the problem is No Man's Sky looked incredible when it first was shown off.
No, I get that part of the controversy. I absolutely understand that.
And like, let me be real. Like, let me give credit where credit's due. Hello There Games has come a long way, since the original like version of No Man's Sky, right? I hope that they took time and consideration into what they were doing with this one. And I hope they don't like overpromise too many things like they did with No Man's Sky.
Did you see the chat say, yo, scam 2?
Yep, that's why I was saying like
bruh.
Yeah. I don't believe it's going to be like that, but I also, only time will tell.
Yeah. I was actually really scared for the dude because it really was one of those things where Jeff was trying to push it a little bit and he was like, because context
only 12
given.
people are working on it, so like please don't give it to like don't do that.
Right. So I hope for the best because like honestly for what I saw it does look really cool. I just kind of like the lush environment that they just showed for that one, but it's also kind of the same thing where it's like the random seed. So we'll see. What's the other one? It's called Stormgate. I remember this one.
That's the RTS, right?
Yes.
So it's not an inspiration.
Oh yeah,
but it is
Simu, right? Yeah, he was presenting this one.
Yeah, that's the game that's inspired by StarCraft. It actually has ex-StarCraft developers.
Yeah.
Never getting that StarCraft 3.
Basically, it's basically going to be StarCraft 3, and that's why people are so hyped about it. I've never really played StarCraft, so I don't want to sit here and be like, oh man, I love that series. I would like to sit down and play StarCraft one day.
It was so funny when after the award show, we were getting like dinner and we saw like that one truck that had like the flaps in the back that said Stark.
Oh yeah, and I was like, "Hey, dude, Stark! There it is."
Oh god, that was funny.
That's really good.
I think the next thing it was just a quick unveilment of Guilty Gear Strive's like new character.
Guilty Gear Strive's character.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah, so what makes it funny is that Harada accidentally leaked it.
Yeah.
Like earlier. But he's claiming that he was not the one that leaked it. He was sent the email from Arc System Works Therefore, he thought, oh, they announced it. That's so cool. I like this character design. And so he was talking about it,
Yeah, that's kind of
not knowing
unfortunate.
that it was supposed to be an announcement for later in the night.
Yikes. But it looks like there was something else that was announced here, and I'm not sure if it was announced earlier, but the fact is that they got a team of 3 multiplayer bit.
That was
as well.
part of the trailer. That's part of the
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
So they are doing a 3v3 team battle mode as well.
Mhm.
Which is cool. You know, I always like to call those the King of Fighters modes.
Yeah, I see it.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
But
we'll see.
yeah, I'm down. Strive is such a good game. So more content to that game is not a bad thing.
We have the next thing on the list is the DLC for Final Fantasy 16.
Oh
We have
my god,
Echo of
dude.
the Fallen, which is the Shadow Drop, and we also have the Rising Tide, which is coming in spring of 2024.
And Rise of the Tides is so cool. To reference a piece of the story that didn't get really explained. Now I know why. Because they're saving that part for DLC. The fact that we get to fight Leviathan in an icon battle is crazy. Crazy. And does that also mean we get Leviathan like powers and attacks?
Probably, yeah.
That sounds so cool.
What they showed from the trailer, it looked like Clive had some new abilities, so it's like, oh, okay, alrighty, let's see. Yeah, but right now, apparently Echoes of the Fallen, or I may have misremembered, but one of the DLC content like will take just 10 hours. Well, I mean, I
Yes.
say just 10 hours, but like that's pretty sizable for like DLC.
Yep.
And then
I'm excited. I need to play it. I need to play them.
Yeah. But the last thing, the last thing they have listed here before like they announced Game of the Year, Monster
Was this
Hunter.
really all the way up into this? That's
Yeah.
it?
I think it kind of depends. It may have been like top announcements or something like that. So
Because I was gonna say we missed one whole big announcement that we didn't talk about, and I was dying to talk about it. But let's do Monster Hunter Rise first.
Okay, or Monster Hunter Wilds.
Sorry, you're right.
I'd say
You're
Rise.
right.
I was like, that game you never played with us still.
Not again.
And it probably won't happen again. Dog, watch. Anyways, well, considering if I do get it, it's gonna be on PS5. Yeah.
And if it's crossplay,
It's got to be
If it's
crossplay
crossplay, I'm down.
because they have already set up the whole.
But just
like,
know that I'm
console.
getting it on
hold you to that.
PlayStation.
I'm gonna hold you to
He's
that.
gonna hold
All
you
right,
to
well,
it.
2025, so I got time.
But I'm about to just put a big ass note somewhere that says 2025 Phil, don't you fuck up.
And like
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Watch me just forget.
I'll probably forget too, but you know.
But no, we got a trailer for the next generation of Monster Hunter that we've all been waiting for, and it looks cool.
It looks super cool.
Very promising. It's got a
We are
huge-
getting a creature to we're not. It doesn't look like the dog. It doesn't look like our Palamute from Rise, but it definitely looks like a
Spain.
chocobo.
I think,
yeah.
I got a theory on that. Maybe it's not the companion you think it's going to be. I think that's just a normal monster that you can get on the field, and you can just ride them.
That's I'm not entirely sure because it really does look like it's full
I can just ride a
kitted.
chocobo.
Nah, you can ride a Rathalos.
That
Think about that.
They would just automatically like you can already kind of do that in Rise, but
No, but I mean like use it as your actual like partner, and like that'd be so sick.
okay, Monster Hunter
True.
Stories.
What did you already say? Stories?
Stories?
Well, okay. Well, Stories is a turn-based game, but yes.
But he can be your companion.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, I don't know. I just feel like that mount specifically just had so much on it. Like not only did you have weapons, you also may have been able to see like a backup weapon, like like somewhere in the tuck. And
not only that, it's just the weapon on his back. I didn't even recognize that because I was like,
I think
"What is that?" I was like, "Is that a?"
looks like a great sword. I think it
Is
looks
it a
like
great sword?
I think it looks
It
like
kind of
great.
looked like it looked like it looked like somebody a new style of greatsword, just a new design.
Maybe? Yeah. Because otherwise, I didn't see any different type of compartment stuff, so could transform or anything.
And this could always be. There's always a chance every generation they could add a new weapon.
This is true.
Yeah, I hope they do because Rise didn't get anything new.
So the silk spine skills.
Okay, but I
yeah,
meant like
that's the exception.
weapons.
I will say though that those went a long way because of all the different things you could do with them.
Mm-hmm.
They gave the greatsword a counter. Oh, that was so great.
That's very nice, actually. Yeah, I'm really curious about the
definitely
Wirebug
looking forward.
stuff. If they even
Oh, yeah.
want to incorporate that, if they can.
Yeah, I'd be very I'll be very curious because I did enjoy. I think a lot of people really liked Rise's combat,
Yeah.
Yes,
just because of yes, World
Rise.
combat is great, but Rise's was like very
Rise is
fluid.
the one Monster Hunter game I put the most time into ever. So
Nice.
For me, it's between Rise and World. I played them both a ton.
I think for me, playing Rise and then World was actually not a great idea. I was like, I'm so sluggish, bro. I'm running everywhere. It looks great, but I'm running everywhere.
wait till
And
you
now
ever
you
play the
might.
OGs.
Oh yeah, I've
Oh
tried
yeah,
that, and I was like, dude, this
it's a little scuffed.
sucks.
It's a little scuffed.
Going to the next area. Load. Wait, what? Back in.
Load.
What? Oh,
Load.
okay. All right. Next area.
Luckily, the load doesn't take very long.
It doesn't. But man, dude, it exists.
I think the hardest part about the old games is it's just like obviously as time's gone on, they've gotten better with showing with part damage and all that kind of stuff, and of
Yeah.
course the big damage number.
Yeah.
But back
Makes you
this,
feel
you just have
good.
to solely rely on your eyes.
Yeah.
Not only that,
Yeah, it's
part
fair.
damage wasn't nearly as clear.
Fair enough. Okay. I never even considered that, but yeah, they could definitely streamline a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I'm just very curious to see where they're going to take this in this direction, where they're going to, especially what monsters they're going to add, because we got monsters from Frontier in Rise, so I'm very they've got a whole other things to choose from because the monster vote for like most popular monster they had going on that had a good amount, but it was missing over 170 monsters from Frontier. If they had included the 170 monsters from Frontier, the vote would have been closer to 400 even.
Oy. Yeah.
So they
That's
kind of
fair.
did. So I think they might have just done it to make it simpler, but at the same time, I was like, but why wouldn't you give yourself a more round number like 400?
We'll just have to see. All I know right now is that we're not going to get information from this game maybe up until like 2024
Summer
summer.
of 2024 is what they said.
Essentially,
That's what they.
the next
That's what
like
they said.
Jeff Keighley event.
They said
Basically, yeah, Summer Games event.
Yeah.
basically anytime in the summer of 2024, they said we'll be back.
Fair enough.
Until then, please be patient and wait.
Or just play the other Monster Hunter games at this point.
That's fair. Yeah,
I should
mean,
probably catch up.
World on PC right now is like $8.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
World is cheap. Rise is a little cheap, not that expensive, but it's still up there.
Yeah.
But I have Rise on Switch, so you know.
Yeah, that's like the main file I got going on still.
Only downside is it's not cross progression.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the downside. But I think they've changed that with the new Capcom ID sign-in thing. So time will tell.
That's why I say I think they're doing that because they're doing it with Street Fighter, and I think
Yep.
now they're doing it with all their other games because they have two things in mind: crossplay and cross progression.
Yep.
Yes, which will be a great thing.
I'm also personally hoping that Wilds didn't get announced for a Nintendo console because of the whatever next console is.
Oh, 2024.
I'm a person that
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't
I'm a
even think
person
about
that likes Monster Hunter on portables, and so it's like I don't know. I guess I'm more inclined to play it if it was on my Switch because that's one, it's my platform of choice, and two, it's easier to set up multiplayer. It's funner for me to
Yeah.
play multiplayer when we're in the same room and we're just on local wireless and we're just like,
I see that.
yeah,
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I can see it. I'm just gonna put it out there. Yeah, that's gonna be next generation Nintendo console. That's why it's coming out in 2025.
that would make a lot of sense.
The Super Nintendo Switch, the SNS.
You got to remember that the sales numbers don't lie. Monster Hunter Rise was the best-selling Monster Hunter game, period, and it was on Switch only.
And that's wild to think they could even outsell World because World was
Was
if I'm not
huge
mistaken, it was the best-selling Capcom game of all time.
of all time. And Rise came out and said, "Nah, we got this," and it was Switch exclusive until they made the ports for PS5 and Series X
and
PC.
PC. And even then, those didn't sell well because they didn't really advertise it that well.
I think
But
Game Pass
also
seriously
Game
puts it on
Pass,
play.
it was on Game Pass, so it was like they're not making
those sales numbers.
Yeah,
They're not making the sales numbers off of the titles, but they're making they're making the player numbers and they're making the in-game stuff, like if they want to buy DLC.
Yeah.
But still, you know, Monster Hunter Rise on Switch was a big deal.
It was. It definitely. Just the fact. It's shocking that just being on the Switch and it was still able to outsell Capcom's literal best-selling title of all time, which was the previous Monster Hunter title. That's just fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
The power
You
of
would
the
say
Nintendo
maybe
console.
you might even say it's
Wilds.
Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah,
Wilds.
I was trying to avoid that joke.
I
I
didn't.
knew as soon as he was going to say, you might even say, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
The sales were wilds, if you will. But yeah, okay, so that's what we have for Monster Hunter Wilds for now. Phil, you had one.
There
we
is. We
missed.
skipped it, and I guess GameSpot don't care, but I care because
Yeah.
I was through the goddamn roof when it was announced.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sega came out and said, "One announcement? No, we got 5." And I was like,
noticed that.
"What?" They showed off footage for 5 in development games: a new Jet Set Radio, a new Streets of Rage, a new Shinobi, a new Golden Axe, and a new Crazy Taxi.
Are they new or are they remakes?
They're new.
Depends on what you're looking at. Maximilian Dude broke down most of the trailers. I can say confidently that Crazy Taxi might be a remake because it's the same map.
With because just like I have a friend who adores Jet Set Radio. It's like her
Jet
favorite.
Set Radio is not as new because they're going to actual locations in Japan now. Like Shibuya was there, and I was like, oh crap. Jet Set's new.
I was like, if they're making a new Jet Set Radio, she's gonna flip.
There has been some new information coming out after this because here's the thing: Sega can't just say, "Oh, we got 5 new games in development," and then like they're all titles from like some of the biggest IPs in gaming. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, how can you just say? How'd you just do that in a sizzle reel and then call it a day?
That we haven't seen in years.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think it's interesting. Wait, I'm gonna start from like my least favorite to the best. All right.
Okay.
Let's start with Golden Axe. I think it's interesting that they're doing a new Golden Axe game because the last Golden Axe game, which was Golden Axe Beast Riders, sucked. It was not good. As a matter of fact, it basically killed the franchise. And it's and you might know the game from the meme, Mark. It's the little dude that goes, "Buy my balls, woman."
Buy my balls, woman.
That's literally from that game.
Right.
And what scares me is that it looks like that game. And granted, it probably might be better, but what kind of game is Golden Axe or whatever this new one is? Is it a beat 'em up like the originals? Is it a 3D action game like Beast Rider? I need to know a little bit more for me to be more excited about Golden Axe. But it's cool that they realize Golden Axe is a game that they own. So, let's see. Crazy Taxi. I think that I love Crazy Taxi. I don't know about you guys, but the original is a stone cold classic. It's one of Katrina's favorite games of all time.
Of course it is.
It's so good. And when you hear the offspring just, yeah, I was like, we're in there.
When you tell me one of her favorite games involves a car and just absolutely obliterating people with that car, I'm like, yeah, I believe it.
You don't obliterate people. You take them to their destination. What, do you never played Crazy Taxi?
Nope.
Hey, it's Crazy Taxi. Yeah. You literally don't obliterate people. You literally pick them up and take them to their destination. You are an actual taxi. What makes it funny is how you do it.
Because honestly, I could have swore I saw him obliterate some people in the trailer.
No, you could. But like,
I mean,
that's not the objective of the game.
But it is a thing you do.
It's a thing you could do.
You can do.
I guarantee you
should
does
do
that.
But the game's great. It looks like a remake, but there's also like new things in there. Like there's the cops and robbers kind of thing going on in there. And I was like, police cars. I was like, that's interesting. I wonder if it's like an online multiplayer mode where people are cops and then you're just the Crazy Taxi trying to deliver people, but you can't get caught. You know, you're trying to do as fast as possible.
Breaker, we need backup. We got a deranged Uber driver on the highway.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I'm thinking it is. So that sounds interesting. Streets of Rage. Right. Okay. What an interesting game to choose to make because we just got Streets of Rage 4. That's actually the most recent IP.
Which was good. It was
which is incredible. It's a really good game. I'm just shook that they're taking it in a 3D route this time. Because remember, Streets of Rage has always been a normal 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Right.
They're going the 3D route. So I'm hoping that's a good thing. It does look like it's going to be Streets of Rage 5 because it has the older Axel from 4. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I'm not too concerned, but we'll see how that one turns out.
He's a little scared.
Just a little scared. Speaking of Streets of Rage 4, Shinobi.
Which is old name.
Goddamn love Shinobi. Return of Shinobi is literally a Stone Cold classic. So is Shinobi 3. Those are some of the best Genesis games of all time.
When I think
some of the best
Shinobi,
games of all time.
When I think Shinobi, I just think of the one on the PS2.
Yep, the PS2 Shinobi is one of the toughest games ever to beat. And so is its spin-off sequel, Nightshade. Those are fantastic games on PS2. This one is being developed by Lizard Cube, who did Streets of Rage 4, which makes sense by that art style. I was like, oh, so we're in good hands. I was like, that game's going to be sick.
He's not wrong, dude. Playing Shinobi, especially as a kid, was so fucking hard.
Oh, it's hard. I really want to replay that series now. The Switch has some Shinobi games, so definitely gonna take some time into those.
Never did beat that game.
Yeah. Shinobi 3 is really good, so. But and then the last one obviously is Jet Set Radio, and I goddamn love Jet Set Radio. The fact that I want to be upfront. We all knew Jet Set Radio was in development. It was in that big old leak, like earlier in the year where they leaked Persona 3 Reload.
Oh yeah.
And Jet Set Radio and Sonic, like it was bad.
And they just released that spiritual successor.
Yeah, they just released. Yeah, what was it? Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
which I've heard is good.
It's great. This looks like they're gonna try and actually like push the series forward instead of it being like Bomb Rush, which is more of an homage.
This is gonna be like a straight up like sequel.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this. I do not expect that one to be on Switch. I expect that one to be a next gen game because I would like them to push the cell shading forward.
And they go heavy with the graphics, absolutely.
Yeah, I expect the other 4 to be on Switch.
They gotta bring in a lot of good music for it too.
Yeah, so it's got to be a mix of original music and the licensed music. That's what makes it so good, is that both go hand in hand together. And if they get the original composer to come back,
I'm sure he'd be down.
New music. Oh my God, Mark, I'm gonna cry. Like, he did music for Bomb Rush. It's really good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'd be down then.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he wouldn't have any gripes. He'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
I'm excited. I do wish they would at least like not remake but remaster Jet Set Radio Future, or like some kind of like a HD collection like before the new one comes out, because I think 1, it's been too long, and 2, people kind of need to be introduced to that series to really get into it. Because one Jet Set Radio 1 has been remastered before. It's been in HD on PS3, 360, and Vita. The 360 version is backwards compatible on Xbox Series X if you buy it through the Xbox 360 marketplace first.
That's a bit of a caveat.
Yeah. But it is. I have it. It is backwards compatible. But Jet Set Radio Future has not been remastered or touched. It's literally stuck on the original Xbox. It's been an original Xbox exclusive this whole time, and I love that. I love that game. It's also not backwards compatible. They couldn't get it because of licensing issues. So I'm really hoping that they can get to that game, because I would love to see those 2 remastered and put onto something.
I'm surprised Microsoft just didn't just buy them.
By Sega?
Well, no, wait. Didn't they try?
They tried.
They attempted
it. So they did try to do what I just said. I was like, I guess the solution to that would have been simply buy them.
Yeah, Sega is a company though that next to Nintendo has some of the most recognizable IPs of all time.
Yeah.
So it's really weird that they haven't done this before, but you know what? This is a new Sega. They also did confirm after the Game Awards, they thanked Sonic, Persona, and Yakuza / Like a Dragon for keeping them afloat all these years.
as they gotta.
Yeah, honestly, Sonic has been the very thing keeping them alive.
No, Like a Dragon has. Like a Dragon and Persona have been more successful than Sonic has in recent years.
Hey, that's surprising, actually.
Dude, Like a Dragon blew up. When
I know
Yakuza,
Like a Dragon did. I know Persona did as well. I just often I forget that those are Sega.
yeah, Sega owns Atlas. So
Mm.
whatever Atlas is making Sega money.
Yeah,
But
Sega
Persona
themselves
in
haven't
general,
really
yeah.
been doing a lot, except for
Yep.
Sonic.
Sonic, the Like a Dragon series, they've done you know what's funny? Now that I think about what they're going with, it is interesting because we've gotten new Super Monkey Ball games. We've gotten a
Oh,
new
fair.
Samba de Amigo. Like,
Yeah, seeing Super Monkey Ball come back was great.
what the hell? Like, those are classic Sega games I never thought we'd see. So yeah,
I thought Super Monkey Ball was Nintendo.
no, Super Monkey Ball is
Nah.
always Sega.
See, that's the close relationship that they have with Nintendo. So it would make
Yeah,
sense
Super
that they
Monkey
would never
Ball,
be taken by Xbox or
the
Microsoft.
original first two were GameCube exclusives, so that's probably why you were thinking that.
Was it also Billy Hatcher too?
Billy Hatcher is a Sonic Team game and was a GameCube exclusive as well.
Okay.
I wish they would just port that. I don't want a remake. I don't want like a remake. I just want to play the original. It's been too long. I don't own a copy of it either because it's expensive.
Probably.
But yeah, I do hope they port Knights. I would love a new Knights game. Because here's the thing: at the bottom of that list, it said "and more" now in development. I'm gonna bring it up now because if I don't, I'd be remiss if I didn't. If they don't do anything with Virtual Fighter, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, that's why I figured they set that to max. I figured that was the whole reason.
Yeah, because
Fair.
Virtual Fighter 6
but also
would
Crazy
literally blow up esports, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because Virtual Fighter 5 is one of the funnest fighting games to play if you've ever played it.
It was one.
I actually entered a side tournament back in 2012 with that game at Evo, and I got out of pools, and it was great.
Whoa!
I lost first round out of pools, but it was
yeah.
I got through 5 different rounds, so that was cool. It was a side tournament. It wasn't a big one, so it wasn't that many people, but we were playing. I'm a Jackie Bryant main. I love that character, but Virtual Fighter is like iconic. Tekken popularized 3D fighting games. Virtual Fighter created the 3D fighting game genre. So it's very important. That's why Akira from Virtual Fighter is a assist trophy in Super Smash Brothers. Because while I think Sakurai obviously chose Tekken 2 because it's popular, Virtual Fighter really is a big inspiration for fighting games. So I need Sega to stop screwing around and really think seriously, right? Like if their excuse is, well, what can we do with Virtual Fighter 6? Homie, esports is right here. You can start putting in money into the tournaments and make this game popular again. Because Virtual Fighter 5 was huge when it came out on PS3 and 360. So, and now that, what was the recent Virtual Fighter release? Virtual Fighter 5 Final Showdown. It was on
oh, you mean
it's on PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah.
No, it's PS4. Yeah, that's running on the Like a Dragon engine.
Which
that is
crazy.
Running in that same engine. It's called the Dragon engine. So very important to get that out there. But Sega doing these new games finally. Thank God, dude. Those IPs have been sitting dormant for so long. They needed to be.
Just gonna look that up too. Yeah, was that everything? Because I'm trying to remember.
I think that literally was everything.
Yeah, dude. There's been quite a bit of announcements here and there. I think Sega was definitely the one we weren't expecting. And I'm glad that decided to go forward with that because it really was a running joke where like Sega's not really doing anything. It's kind of like what PlayStation's been like doing for some of their like other like franchises and IPs. Nothing. Well,
do you know what? PlayStation did have an alright showing though with Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is a really cool game though. I really hope that I don't know if I'm picking it up day one because it's coming out right next to like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it's like, that's kind of tough.
Yeah.
But like, I hope one day we pick it up and we play it because Helldivers 1 is such an interesting game to play. The fact that was crossplay between PS3, Vita, and PS4, it was like, what the hell? Like, I like that game.
It does look pretty good.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope,
definitely
yeah.
not a single player style game. You definitely need to have a team.
Mhm.
But it's like it is a team-based game, and I mean that in the sense of like you want to reload the rocket, can't do it on your own. You need a partner to help you fucking reload that. Like you
Oy.
gotta be all over the place. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'd be down for it. I just hope that there's better promotion for that one going
yeah,
forward. We'll
because it
see.
is a smaller title. They are selling it at $40. It's not a full price
Really?
game.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So I guess we'll have to see for that one. And then, I'll just make that comment about, Sonic or Sega as a whole. Yeah, they weren't really
yeah.
touching a lot of their older franchises. And now all of a sudden, they're changing it up. So I'm like, oh, is this the Capcom moment for them?
I hope so because Capcom needed that moment too. I remember PS3 era, 360 era Capcom. It was something.
Mm.
It was a thing. I actually have been very recently. I've been looking at what to collect and what to buy, and I was like, kind of want to collect those Capcom games from that era
Mm.
because it's such a history piece of like these games suck, but they're not the worst games in the world. I don't know. It's a weird piece. Like remember when they published that Don't Nod game? Remember Me?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Yeah. No, that's the game's called. Remember Me.
Yeah, no, I don't know that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about Lost Planet 3? Anybody
Well,
remember that game?
yeah, I heard that
Yeah.
wasn't really well received.
Yeah, it's a single player game. And I'm
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that either. I was like,
yeah,
whoa.
it's not the Lost Planet series where it's more multiplayer focused. That one's a single player narrative game, and I'm like, what the huh? Like
Hey, what?
yeah, like there's remember my favorite one, Bionic Commando, the 3D
Oh,
game?
yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one with the twist ending where his wife is his arm. That was funny. That was
Crazy.
that was a game. But I want to pick it up. I want to experience bad Capcom. You know?
Bad
I want to
com. Got
experience
it.
lackluster Cap. I want to experience the era where Street Fighter 4 was the only thing keeping them afloat.
Yeah, and it was
Oh,
there.
And Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But then again, this is also the era of Resident Evil 6, Operation Raccoon City.
Ooh.
This is that era of games, and I'm just like, what the
What are they
Double
doing?
DMC, remember original DMC
Oh
version was not well received. Yeah,
no.
I'm telling you, this is an era of Capcom I would love to study a little bit more.
The study.
Because even on the Wii, they were putting out like, huh? Like Tatsunoko versus Capcom, god tier game from that era. God tier. But like, no one remembers Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbro's Treasure on
Oh
the Wii.
no.
And I love that game. That game is great, but nobody remembers that. Monster Hunter Tried came out around that time.
Oh,
But
okay.
nobody got into it because it was a Wii exclusive. Like everybody started getting to Monster Hunter 3 when it came to 3DS and Wii U. So it's like, I don't know.
Such a interesting history on that front. And then it really pivoted when Resident Evil 7 popped. Well, also Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I think in the era of like that specific era, Capcom really popped off because really the downfall was Marvel versus Capcom Infinite, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was the rough spot. That was
a huge rough spot. And I feel like right after that, Capcom realized they needed to step it up because this is coming off the fact that Street Fighter 5 had a bad launch. All right.
True.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite wasn't even at tournaments. Evo decided to not play it. It never got a tournament at Evo.
Oh, Jesus.
I forget what was the problem with Infinite again, because I did play it. It didn't feel bad. I know it was something else.
Infinite has great gameplay. It's great to play. The problem is that it doesn't do much.
That's what it was.
Everything around that game was just like, like they took out it's Disney Marvel, so they took out all the X-Men. None of them are in there.
No.
And that's the most heinous crime because Marvel vs. Capcom started as X-Men versus Street Fighter. That was the original game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is now they own Fox.
Exactly. That's what kills me.
So now they literally could just add everything back.
And then there was only like 3 new characters. Everybody else was straight up from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think it was once Monster Hunter World hit and Resident Evil 7 hit, and they got their acts together in the later seasons in Street Fighter 5. I think is when it started to really pick up.
because Monster Hunter World, it went from a cult following to finally popularizing Monster Hunter in the West.
Yep. Huge. It was a bit. I remember it being everywhere, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I picked up a copy because I was like, "There's no way it's that good."
And you're like,
I
well,
was like,
okay.
you know what? It's pretty damn good. I didn't spend too much time in it, unfortunately, because I'm Philip, and there's always other games. But yes, it's really good. But you're also forgetting, like in that era, it's like Devil May Cry 5 finally came out, and that was huge. That was a big one. The remakes for Resident Evil 2, like 3, those were big too. Like Resident Evil 2 remake in particular was nominated that year for Game of the Year. So it's like, whoa. Like now we're really cooking. So yeah, Capcom is in their golden era again. Mega Man re-releases and Mega Man 11,
True.
Mega Man 11, yeah, was their new Mega Man game. But the re-releases have kept that series afloat too, which is good because there's nothing wrong with the original games. Just put them on new, make it more accessible for people to play.
Yeah.
That's all it really needs to be. With Capcom still doing remakes, if they don't remake Code Veronica at this point, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, look, I'm still in the camp that says Resident Evil 4 didn't need the remake, but I'm glad that remake turned out as spectacular as it did. I'm glad. But if the next game is Resident Evil 5, I'm gonna lose it, and not in a good way. I don't think 5 needs the remake. I think Code Veronica really is the Resident Evil game that needs the remake.
Well, yeah.
Especially because Code Veronica is a sequel that leads into 5. So if you were to make 5, like, homie, where's that missing link? Where, like, how does Chris get there? Like, that makes no sense. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys.
But Sega does need it. Oh, wait. Real quick. I do have my 3 pickups real quick.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, it'll be fast. I won't go through them too long.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have anything for this week.
I didn't have anything this week, but I wasn't on the podcast last week. And so I was like, man, I did want to. I just got this limited run package. I have another one on the way too, but
yo, yikes.
Yeah. This one's 3 games. Nothing super crazy except for like the last one. That one is pretty big for me to have in my collection.
Okay.
I got Atari Mania, which is kind of like a WarioWare style game.
Oh, okay.
That takes older Atari games and then mix and mashes them. So you have to think on your feet and remember the rules for the older games.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah.
I was checking on dinner.
What?
No, he was just silent, and yeah.
I was checking on dinner. My bad, pimp.
Now you're good. This one's fun. So this is the Rumblefish 2. This is a fighting game.
Oh,
that
arcade fighting game.
That name.
Yeah, it's
Rumblefish.
Really weird. Yeah, the Rumblefish 2, an old arcade fighting game by Dimps, who you might know as the creators of like Sonic Advance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made this fighting game a long time ago. This is an old 2004 to 2005 arcade game. Finally brought to modern platforms with widescreen support and online versus with rollback netcode and everything. So
crazy.
I wanted to check this one out for sure because I was like, arcade fighting games, I'm in, you know? And the holy grail that I'm so excited to have in my collection. Thank you, Limited Run, for making this one a physical copy. Because not only is it one of my holy grail on the Switch, it's a holy grail in my gaming collection in general because it's a game that has been touted as like one of the best shoot 'em ups of all time. Like I'm talking like held in the highest regard, and maybe next to its older brother as well, or its younger brother. But this is Treasure's Radiant Silvergun.
Oh, okay.
And this is like a huge like popular shoot 'em up. Like you talk to people who like kind of know shoot 'em ups, Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga always show up, and this is the first one. So I'm really excited to have this in my collection in general. It does have a new modern look, and it also has the original Saturn look. So glad to have this in my collection in just overall because I've been really wanting a physical copy of Radiant Silvergun, aka or Just a fun fact, you can also play this on Xbox. It is a 360 download, but it's backwards compatible.
Ah, okay, cool.
That and Ikaruga. But Ikaruga is also on Switch. So I'm looking for a physical copy of that game, but it's like really, really expensive now. Because it was a limited print through Nicalis.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find a copy of Ikaruga so I can have the pair, but at least I have Radiant Silvergun. At least I do. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay. We'll go on and wrap it up. Well, guys,
Yeah.
it's been a Game Awards week for sure. And it's just a lot of stuff to just kind of like sit with. And now we're just kind of in the cooling down time of the month of December. And now it's just about like shopping for like loved ones, friends, and just anticipating things for the, for New Year's and 2024 as a whole. But that will be another topic for another week. For now, we'll go ahead and close it here. Guys, appreciate everyone for tuning in for this episode of DangIT Prodcast. It's been episode 484. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And I'm Philip.
And thanks for watching, everybody. #bye, everybody.